I just say what I think, right? Now, is that a strategy? It depends on how you define strategy. It's not a strategy that's designed to serve my ends, not in a individualistic way. So I'm just trying to see what happens if I say what I think. That's a way of navigating in the world, right? It's an adventurous way of navigating in the world because you don't know what's going to happen. You have to let go of that. And then there's an element of faith in that, right? There's faith in everything you do. You know, the empiricist types, the scientific reductionists, they say, well, you can move forward in the world without faith. That's complete bloody rubbish. There isn't anything you ever do that's important that you don't do in light of faith. It's like, if you get married, you do that on the basis of the evidence, do you? What bloody evidence do you have? You're 23 years old, you don't know a damn thing. You know, maybe you're in love with the person that you want to marry, but you have no evidence whatsoever about how your life is going to go. None. You have to leap into the unknown, like you do with everything that's important. That's all faith, predicated. Now, the question is, faith in what? Well, if you decide that you're just going to say what you think, then you have faith in the truth, at least insofar as you have access to the truth. I spent a lot of time studying evil, a lot of time, and I know how it arises. It arises when good men hold their tongue. You don't want that. There's nothing worse that can happen to you. Now, you may suffer some consequences of speaking, for sure, but all things considered, which is the right attitude if you're wise, there's nothing worse that can happen to you than to falsify your speech. And if you're going to say what you believe to be the case, then you need to put yourself in a position where doing so won't be instantly catastrophic in a way you can't fix. Because that's not wise. Here's a rule. If you find yourself in a position where you're unable to speak, you haven't fortified your territory properly. Right, so then you have to think about that. It's like you think, okay, why can't I say what I believe to be the case? Where am I vulnerable? And you can say, well, that's inevitable. It's like, no, it's not. It's not inevitable. That doesn't mean it isn't difficult to fortify and to put yourself in a position where you're on the offense successfully. That's hard. But retreating one step at a time defensively for your whole life and shrinking while you do it, that's also difficult. It's just the kind of difficult that wears you down and makes you sick of yourself. That's not a good plan. That's a bad plan.